vastly different place. To experience this won't hurt you, and there is nothing to fear. In these discourses, we followed the evolution of a planetary configuration close to Earth, stretching across the ancient sky. Centered at the North Celestial Pole, it remained stationary for an extended period at this position. That's the underlying nature of the primeval sun remembered around the world. We've noted that the named planets progressively emerged from a dusty plasma cloud, identified in mythic accounts as the Great Sea of Primeval Chaos. The differentiation of the planets and their observed movements in relation to each other and the electrical activity between these bodies provided the core content of ancient creation mythology. In the original accounts, creation meant events visible to humans on Earth. We've named 3 planets in the mythic Great Conjunction based on recorded astronomical traditions that trace to the birth of astronomy in ancient Mesopotamia. Saturn is the overarching luminary, named as the primeval sun. Venus is Mother Goddess and radiant eye, heart, and soul. And Mars is the dark, reddish, innermost body, the child in the womb of the goddess, the pupil of the feminine eye of the primeval sun. We followed the emergence of a triangular form recalled as the first form, the luminous seed of creation, and we've identified this unique form as the concrete celestial referent for the popular threefold goddess, three-faced goddess, or 3 goddesses in one. We've noted as well the explosive discharge activity associated with this triangular form and the essential role of the discharge ejecta as the mythic primeval matter of creation, the very material from which in the creation stories the gods were said to have constructed a great citadel in the heavens, the legendary homeland of the gods. Through local storytelling and reenactments across the centuries, this celestial dwelling came to be remembered as the ancestral homeland of every nation recounting these events. These core themes of an archetypal memory have taken us to the critical moment at which a bright crescent appeared on the gas giant Saturn due to light from the sun. This moment provides an extraordinary test of the reconstruction as a whole. Once we place the named bodies in 3-dimensional space, centered at the celestial pole, and allow for an illuminated crescent on Saturn, an inescapable conclusion will follow. The crescent must have rotated visually with the rotation of the Earth in a precise relationship to a cycle of day and night, with no counterpart and no analogy in anything occurring today. A star in the center of a rotating crescent. The image is recorded around the world. A crescent which, given the circumpolar placement, must have turned around the polar center in a daily cycle of brightening and dimming. No ambiguity, no compromise allowed. When seen with eyes wide open, how credible are the popular claims of historians, archaeologists, and comparative mythologists when they identify the symbolic crescent as our moon? By what reasoning would ancient sky worshippers have extravagantly and irrationally placed our little crescent moon into a configuration never seen but recorded independently by humans around the world? Always keep in mind that the mythic crescent does not stand alone. The great star of Venus in the center of the crescent is just one enigma in a crowd of unsolved mysteries. A particularly powerful addition comes from the mythic world mountain, a column of fire and light rising along the polar axis to pierce the crescent. That's what gave the crescent its mythic identity as the cleft peak, the horned peak, the twin arms or twin pillars of the sky. A subject will review one theme at a time. In its juxtaposition with the revolving crescent, the polar mountain adds crucially to the midnight appearance of the crescent in the most celebrated moment in the archaic daily cycle. No contrived reconstruction will ever account for this symmetry, and that's why a radical break from common understanding is so essential, as we intend to make crystal clear in the episodes to follow.